So this is apparently we only have two chairs in the studio now.
Yeah, we had to get rid of one of them. It broke.
It broke. Did you
Yeah.
did you guys put like a claim into maintenance about it or tech or
Well, uh, I'm assuming Bristol is the maintenance tech, and
well yeah
he did, he
yeah
doesn't have thumbs, so
yeah
is having trouble responding to our emails.
oh okay
Yeah.
that's not good. We should probably work on that, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Unfortunately, he's also HR, so I don't know how much is going to get done about that.
Yeah, he does kind of like to have his positions, right? He likes his paycheck.
Yeah.
If he takes some responsibilities away, I guess his paycheck gets smaller. So um well, no Davey Hazard this week. I'm Joe.
I've been, I'm Matthew.
What were you gonna say?
I've been promoted to the top, like equal footing.
Yes. Look at that. You're not a bottom this week.
Goddamn right.
Oh, this is the Fake Racers podcast. We hope that you, first off, you click the like button, you subscribe, you follow, you listen each and every week. This week, after a very fun race from Watkins Glen, I don't think we saw the tire wear that we were necessarily hoping for. But nonetheless, we saw a great race, a good race.
Oh yeah.
And overall, I mean, non-playoff drivers kind of spoiled the day.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess we'll skip forward to the end. Shane Van Gisbergen versus Chris Buescher. I don't know if that was the battle that we had written down, or at least the Buescher part of it, but it takes a special type of driver to put a move on SVG, and Chris Buescher deserves all of the credit in the world for that.
Well, I mean, you take it back to that last restart, right? I mean, SVG gets in a little hot, gets into Buescher, nothing dirty. It's all clean.
Yeah.
I think everyone's good with it. And going into the bus stop on the last lap, he's being protective, goes a little too deep into the bus stop, makes a mistake, kind of gets the car upset through the curbing, and Buescher gives him the bump back in the carousel, right? So,
Oh, yeah.
All's fair in love and
Yeah.
war. I want Xfinity and Truck Series drivers to take note. That's how you do it. Like, they ain't kill each other.
No.
Saw a good example of it at the Xfinity race, which we'll talk about too, with SVG a part of it. And, but yeah, it's just, man, that's a classic finish, right? Like that's one you'll put in the highlight reels for a long time.
It's up there with Ambrose and Keselowski, like
Yeah.
in terms of just like pure last lap action. And you have Van Gisbergen just going for it in the final two corners, full drift. There's a really good screen grab of his onboard going into the last corner, and he's just pointed towards the inside guardrail, like, and somebody's like, only he can enter a corner like this. So, yeah, just awesome. Buescher finally gets that win that he's been so close to getting so many times this year. It's got to be a little bittersweet because of missing the playoffs, but I mean, I think this is going to go down as like a career highlight for him, I think.
Oh yeah, and it's Chris Buescher has been the best driver on the road courses in the next gen era. Just in terms of, like, I think he's finished top 10 in probably at least 75% of these races on road courses.
Oh yeah, no, he didn't win Sonoma. What am I thinking?
But he has been so good.
Yeah, he has been very good on the road course. I forget that he is as good as on road courses as he is, because I'm pretty sure his first Xfinity win was at Mid Ohio, wasn't it?
Yep, sounds right.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah, and on top of that, throughout the race, I mean, Ross Chastain qualified on pole, kind of dominated the first half of it. SVG was up there. It was really a day, like I said, dominated by non-playoff drivers through the first stage. They all pit, of course, because they don't need the playoff. They don't need the points. A lot of the playoff drivers stay out to get stage points. Those guys got caught out by a caution at the end of stage 2 that kind of changed their strategy up. And as we saw, Ross was never able to get back to the front of the field. SVG was there on that last restart, but it was just a very chaotic and crazy race, especially for the playoff drivers. That Ryan Blaney had an electrical issue on lap 1 with that crash coming out of the bus stop.
Issue? I never knew what it was.
Yep, it was electrical.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it was damage. I don't know. But
yeah, so that's the weird thing. So I missed the start of this race because I was out at the track, the BMX track, not the racetrack. And
You were in Watkins Glen?
you know, yeah, it was a very long. I rode my bike there. Yeah. But you see him like make contact with Brad, and then they go into the carousel, and he just goes straight.
Yeah.
And I had to think that he broke his steering or something because he had to get towed back. But yeah, like you mentioned, there's the whole damaged vehicle policy
Yeah.
controversy with this now, which
Yeah.
is bizarre.
It's only because he was involved in an incident, right? Like if he would have stopped on track and wasn't involved in an incident, I think they could have towed him back and it wouldn't have been a. But because he made contact, he's on the DVP. So it's one of those really weird rules. We also have like the flat tire thing now, right? Where you can get towed back to pit road if you got flat tires, but can't get towed back to pit road if your car is damaged.
It's this kind of like splitting hairs that the DVP does when I don't understand what this achieves. Like,
Well,
okay, I get that it prevents, when we used to see guys cutting off all the sheet metal and just sending modifieds out there that are 10 seconds a lap slower. I get that. I don't understand why everything has to be legislated so much in terms of like when you can fix things, right? Like, I don't know. Like, we have minimum speed for a reason.
So
if we don't want cars that slow out on the track, then raise the minimum speed.
The real reason the DVP, like you said, the modifieds and all that, but teams were starting to bring these ginormous crash carts to the racetracks.
Oh, that's true.
With like front bumpers, rear bumpers, quarter panels, and just everything that they were allowed to reattach to the car. And then the teams were like, "Well, we want to save money." And NASCAR's like, "Here's a way for you to save money. Don't bring that stuff." And the teams are like, "Well, if they're bringing it, so I'm going to bring it." And the DVP policy used to be 5 minutes. Now it's like 7.5 or 8 or something. Like it's been changed, but yeah, I understand the frustration with the fact that cars blow out 2, 4, 1 tire. They're allowed to get towed back to pit lane, right? And there's no problem with that. But if you get towed back to pit lane for something mechanical breaking that really wasn't because of a crash, that's a no-no.
There's such an obvious solution to this problem, and in typical NASCAR fashion, they don't take it, which is that you have the teams complaining, they're like, "Oh, we don't want to bring all this stuff." Well, then just ban putting new sheet metal in the car after the green flag drops. Problem solved. Then we don't have to worry about splitting hairs about all of this stupid garbage. And I mean, you look at, say, the 24 Hours of Le Mans, right? They have a blanket rule.
What happens if you lose the rear bumper that you're supposed to have on your race car at super speedways?
Well,
Are you not allowed to put a new rear bumper? Are you not allowed to have a rear bumper back on there? Not allowed to reattach it?
So. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, you see the crews go out there and they'll pick up the sheet metal.
Yeah.
Have them bring it back to the pit box. Oh, you got to wait a lap or two for it? I don't know, figure it out. Don't wreck.
Don't crash, idiot.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the whole thing with, like, okay, well, we'll tow you back only if this specific thing happened. And it just reminds me, it's like, Le Mans has a specific rule, which is that if you can't get your car back to pit road under its own power, you're done. And there's no exceptions to that. Right? And NASCAR is like, no, but we'll tow you back. Only in these specific situations, though. It's such a stupid stipulation. It just adds more confusion to the teams and the drivers and the fans. Like, it doesn't need to exist, I feel like.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and Ryan Blaney's day was done after one lap for, breaking a suspension component, trying to miss a wreck.
Yeah.
Or that's what we think, at least. I don't get it.
One guy's day that didn't end in that first lap wreck, but, maybe he wishes it did. Denny Hamlin, he continues his horrible, terrible, no good, very bad round of 16. A baffling decision last week to just drive around at the back of the pack all day and then still get caught up in the wreck at the end. That was hilarious. I wasn't here to talk about it, but just wanted to add my 2 cents on that. And then this week, it was get involved in a wreck because we started the back again, and they were never able to fully recover. They get involved in a wreck late. And right now, Denny Hamlin's on the outside looking in.
That second one was just embarrassing too.
Oh yeah,
Like outside 3 wide into the S's, and he
yeah.
just turns down like there aren't 2 cars below him.
Desperation, man.
Yeah, when we talked about last week, since you weren't there, like it basically boiled down to like it's a strategy that makes sense. The biggest problem is it didn't work, and you're gonna look back on that and go, "What the hell? Like we blew it," you know. For this, like you cannot go into this race where you're already on the bubble like that and qualify that poorly, and that because you are right in the carnage from lap number 1. Obviously, you know, I'm not going to go out here and say like, oh, they choked. You know, it was everybody qualifies poorly at some point, but this is just a compounding disaster at this point.
Yeah, Denny was one of the favorites for the championship for a month ago, right? Like, this has just been an ongoing story with the 11 team, as they have lost all their momentum in the last month and a half, and it just continues to slide. They're going back to a track that they won at earlier this year, albeit they got that win taken away because of TRD's incompetence, but, you know, hey.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
The only problem is it's Bristol, and
yeah, right.
They can go wrong as fast as it can go right for you.
Talk to Ryan Blaney about that one.
Yep. Other playoff guys that had problems. Somehow Harrison Burton's only 20 below the cut line.
Oh my god.
He's had 2 terrible finishes.
Watch him weasel his way into the round of 12. That would be amazing.
But you have Truex had problems, I think, at one point, but I think he rallied to a good finish.
Keselowski had Byron on top of him.
Yep, they had that big old mess. Kyle Larson had a pit road penalty, and then I think he was the one who threw a pretty big block on
Kyle Larson is a menace
towards the end.
Yeah.
He's full terrorist at the end of that race.
He is an international terrorist at this point.
Yeah.
Can't wait to go to Mexico next year.
The playoff grid is so funny to look at right now because only 2 playoff drivers finished in the top 10, which were Chase Briscoe and Austin Cindric. And you look at the playoff grid now, Bell's leading the points. Cindric is second. There's the rumor that Bowman was on the hot seat if he doesn't make it out of the first round. He's 4th in points. Suarez is 5th.
Logano's locked in.
Yeah. You have Hamlin and Keselowski below the cut line, and Larson and Byron are not very far above it. This is the first truly insane first round of the playoffs I think we've seen since the original one.
Yes.
When nobody felt safe at any point in 2014.
And that's what you want, right? Like, you want it to be terror for these teams because you want them to no, but seriously, you want them to be on edge.
I agree.
So it makes it fun.
Yeah.
For us. Not for them.
The original playoff format is it's so gimmicky, and it it's easy to look at that and talk about how ridiculous it is. Ryan Newman making his final 4 round and all. We always talk about Ryan Newman. Denny Hamlin was not good in 2014, and he was a caution away from winning that championship, right?
Yeah.
And since then we've made the changes to make it favor full season performance better, and from a competition standpoint, that's obviously great. But part of me does miss the chaos. So.
That's why it's
we're getting a little bit of it this year.
It's nice in a year like this where they're really there's been a couple drivers that have been really good, but no one's been great, right?
Yeah.
Last year it was Hamlin. The year prior it was Chase.
Chase Elliott was rock solid.
Year before that it was Larson. And these guys aren't always the champion, right? Of those, Larson was the only one that won the championship that year, that he was the rock star. And he was 1 pit stop away from not being the champion. So, chaos is fun. It's good. It's sports. Upsets are okay every now and then.
Yeah.
It sucks when it's your driver, though, that's on the outside looking in, but that's okay. It's okay. We won this week. Saturday was fun. Xfinity race was good.
Dude.
Connor Zilisch is a beast.
Yeah, that has to scare the shit out of every other driver in the grid. And the main thing is Connor Zilisch, first driver to ever qualify on pole and win in his debut in the Xfinity Series.
Take that, Ty Gibbs.
The thing that's got to scare everybody is that final long green flag run. where you have him saving fuel out front, and you have Sheldon Creed and Ty Gibbs, who both are running full sprint trying to catch him, and Connor Zilic saving fuel is 0.6 a lap faster. That is, you can't teach that. And like, this guy has won everything that he's ever set foot in. It's unreal. Just I'm like at a loss for words. I can't really put into like when Ty Gibbs made his debut and won on debut, everybody was like, "Damn, that was crazy."
Yeah, but he wasn't dominant in that race. Like, that's the thing people forget. Like, he was just kind of there.
Yeah, like, it was a great drive. Connor Zilic showed up and
kicked everyone's ass. Like,
he put
just,
on
that's what it was.
Against Shane Van Gisbergen and AJ Allmendinger and a bunch of like world-class level road racers, and put them on blast essentially.
Yep.
Just unreal.
Trackhouse is going to win all the road course races at one point in a season in the Cup Series.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of how many they've won at Xfinity so far, because they've got 3 with Van Gisbergen already, right?
Yeah, and now they have this one, so that's 4. 4 of 6? Yeah. 4 of,
I think so,
4 of 5? 4 of 5. 4 of 5.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Crazy. But
we got to talk about the end of this race, though.
Oh, the fact that he just had enough fuel to make it to the end was, like, astonishing. And then you're, like, 3 wide per second through the S's. Like, what are we doing? AJ did not want to finish behind SVG.
Yeah, AJ and SVG just full-on brawling. You have Sheldon Creed as the one guy who bursts out of that pack, which I do want to give a shout-out real quick. Like, yes, it's another second place for Sheldon Creed. But a thing that made me really happy is he was just, like, pumped after the race. Like, you didn't have that, like, God damn it, we're second again. And I think he deserves a little credit for putting a move on AJ and SVG at the end of that race. That was pretty cool. Yeah, Ross Chastain was good all day. Parker Kligerman got a top 10 with no 4th gear. He lost it in the first stage and just rallied the whole time. But everybody just kind of forgot how to drive in overtime. And
as they do.
That was bad. That was really bad.
Oh,
they junked him up.
Turn 1 is tough.
Yeah. The last lap in particular, where Ryan C, I think it was Ryan C, just murks Riley Herbst. And oh my god. Like, and some big shit happens on the last lap. A friend of or I think it was Brennan Poole, like, pile drives into that, and a buddy of mine who works for Alpha Prime posted pictures of the car torn down after it, and there's nothing left of the right front.
Oh,
that thing is flattened.
Well, it'll buff out.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I do want to give a shout out also. Jeb Burton was tweeting about this, that they ran top 10 all day, and under that lengthy red flag, I think it was the oil pump just failed sitting still and dumped all of the oil out of the engine or out of the car.
Oh no.
And I'm pretty sure that big puddle that was in turn 1 when they restarted was from him. He posted somebody else's onboard shot of them, like, towing his car away while they're still under red flag, and there's just a big old trail of oil out from under it.
Good job, NASCAR.
Yeah. So, yeah, and there was no crash damage either. He missed the whole crash, and then his car just grenaded sitting still.
Damn.
So
that's a Jeb moment if I've ever heard of a Jeb moment.
Yeah.
Certified Jeb moment. But yeah, Watkins Glen was fun. And that's good. Yeah. Fun weekend of racing. That's what we want to see.
Always.
Double thumbs up. Ta-da. With that being said, let's go ahead and go from the shop.
Oh god, I pressed the wrong button on my stream deck.
Let's go from the shop.
Good enough.
Oh, we didn't hear
pick
it.
Up.
No, it's fine.
God damn it.
Clang, 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 clang. When Davey's not here, everything falls apart. Xfinity Series action moves to the CW this week. Dale Jr. is going to be in the race. Did you know that? Because they mentioned it like 20 times.
Can't wait.
They're like, Dale Jr.'s in the race. Guys, tune into the CW this week. Dale Jr.'s in the race. It's Bristol. It's the playoff cutoff race. Tune in. CW. NASCAR Xfinity Series action. It's on CW. Tune into the CW.
Right, what channel is the CW around here? I think I know what it is.
The CW is free. Remember that, folks. It is free TV.
Yeah.
So So go watch the CW, and then after that, you can watch San Jose State, Washington State. College football. It's gonna be a great night. It's gonna be a great night of the CW network. Okay, so just tune in, watch. I believe it's still the NBC crew though doing the broadcast. I think they're just kind of licensing it for these next 7 races.
I would imagine so. Yeah.
There are 8 races, but yes. So this isn't going to be like what it looks like next year. This is what I'm getting at.
I'm excited to see what it's going to be.
Unless it is. If it is, that's cool too. I don't know where practices are going to be streamed or if they're going to be on TV. I didn't see anything about that, so I don't know. Matt's going to do some digging while I kind of banter a little bit, but should be a good race. So Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Xfinity at Bristol. It's always a good race. Dale Jr. could have won this race last year, and then he had a fire break out in his cockpit.
I can't find the answer. Yeah. His post-race interview is still one of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, what was that? I smelled fire. I smelled something burning, and then I looked, and I was on fire. So what was it? It was something like that, right?
Yeah, I don't remember who it was either. It was just like one of the reporters, and he like got his attention. He pointed down to his burnt pants, and he's like, "Look at that shit."
Trucks are also racing this weekend, so you know.
Oh hell yeah!
Tune into that.
Oh, do we have a Bristol triple header?
Yeah, of course we do.
Oh, so pumped right now.
And I believe this is a cutoff race for the trucks too.
I believe. No, sorry, second race next week, or okay. Kansas is the the cutoff race.
Well, darn.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Bristol this weekend, it's gonna be fun. They also announced this week that there will be they will use softer tires at Martinsville. They will be the option tires that were used at Richmond for the right sides, and then an even softer left side tire. Good job, Goodyear.
Yeah, I dig it.
Keep doing it. Will it be better? Who knows? Because all these teams have this figured out. You know, there were supposedly 4 seconds to fall off at Watkins Glen. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
So
it was in practice. There was some fall off, but that was about it.
It's crazy. It's a repeating trend that they give them more practice time, and there's a bunch of fall off in practice, and then it's magically solved during the race. It's crazy. It's almost like these people are really smart, or something. You know, fall off's bad, so they're going to try to minimize it.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? And finally, a piece of news that Davey is not here to partake in, but Parker Kligerman announced that he's not pursuing full-time opportunities moving forward.
Yeah, it's a good thing Davey's not here for this, because there would be he'd be very sad.
He'd be very sad. That's probably why he's not here. He's probably crying right now about it, actually.
Yeah, he's just kind of like sitting in the rain somewhere.
Yeah.
Just like staring long.
Sad music's playing.
Yeah.
I will remember you.
That's a bummer. I don't know why. I guess he's just thinking about hanging it up. He's been really good in the 48. They've been super close to winning races a bunch of times.
He's really good on TV though.
Yeah, I think that is maybe what he's looking at now is the grind of. Well, I would say the grind of being an NASCAR driver, but he's only done like 5 full-time seasons in his career, so I don't know.
Maybe it's not for everyone.
Yeah, but
they're probably putting some young hotshot in that car next year too. Like, I'm sure there's some of that.
I can see that. Yeah,
bringing in some money or something.
So yeah, hopefully he sticks around. I could see him, still running the Henderson 75 truck on occasion, like he had been doing. But it's a shame, but I feel it. So it's what it is.
Yeah. Any other news? Alex Plo won the IndyCar championship.
IndyCar has been demoted to. Oh yeah, also this happened.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, the finale was kind of a snoozer.
Yeah, Colton Herta finished second. Or no, Colton Herta won. Yeah, Colton Herta won.
Will Power blew it immediately. Didn't have his lap belt fastened.
Oh.
And lost 4 laps at the start of the race, and it was just like, oh, okay, it's over.
Wow.
So,
good job, Will Power.
Way to go, you guys. Also, Corey Day, the dirt track driver, is going to be making a debut in a 3rd and then later 4th, not Spire, McAnally truck.
5th.
So he's going to be running. Is it a 5th truck? What's the 4th
truck? They got
they have the 18 and the 19,
the 91.
the 91, and then the 81 is the one he's going to be driving.
Yeah, and they have the 43 too.
Oh, I didn't know they fielded the 43.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Damn, that's a lot of trucks. Okay.
Yeah. I think what happened is they bought like some of GMS. They bought
I was
stock
gonna
for
say
GMS.
because wasn't Daniel Dye
Yeah, he
a
was.
driver for GMS? Yeah. So I think they just like bought his whole team.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, Daniel Dye probably bought the team and then, was like, hey, guys, can you build these trucks?
Did we talk about Daniel Dye to Kaulig next year? I can't remember when that was announced.
I feel like we did.
Yeah.
Christian Eckes is also going to Kaulig next year, right?
Has that been confirmed?
I thought so. That was confirmed at Darlington.
We're very on top of things this week.
We have been all over the place. We probably talked about that already. Yeah. I think we did.
Eckes Kaulig, yeah.
But that was 2 weeks ago.
Dude, I don't know, man.
Who knows?
I can't remember who these people are.
Nobody knows.
No.
Ryan Preece is apparently going to go to an RFK car that doesn't exist yet, and Brad Keselowski's like, yeah, I'll talk to me in 4 weeks.
We still don't know what the deal with Chandler Smith is.
We don't. Ty Dillon's apparently a front runner to be in the second Kaulig car in the Cup Series next year for some reason. Daniel Hemrick
going to be right a year later.
Yeah, right. Nobody knows what's happening with 2311 in front row.
Dude, I just thought of a hell scenario. Imagine the Davey meltdown we're going to get if the reason why Parker Kligerman is stepping away is because Daniel
Hemrick's in the 48.
Oh my god, that will make for an all-timer
Honestly,
episode.
I hope it happens, just so we can see it. Just so everyone else can bask in that glorious rant that will happen.
Davey's gonna quit the show.
Okay.
That'll be the last we ever hear of him.
I'll have to go run the Real Racers podcast.
All of a sudden, I'm being forced to make a very difficult decision.
I don't want to stay with Mom this weekend. Dad's got cookies.
Stop fighting.
Stop fighting. I love you both.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, that's from the shop. Matt, what was your bottom split moment this week?
My bottom split moment is I guess this is kind of a bottom split moment. I don't get to run state number 1 in BMX anymore because I didn't defend my title. So sad. But is what it is. On a lighter note, though, I did get State 8, so next year I'm doing it for Dale. So
hell yeah,
I'm gonna try to get the Dale Jr. 8 font on my number plates for next year.
Is Teresa or JR? Oh, Teresa can't come after you, but JRM could.
Dale Jr.'s gonna send a hit squad after me.
Could you imagine? Somehow it got worse.
Yeah.
My bottom split moment goes out to, and I love the guy, I love the man, and I have a feeling y'all are going to talk about this on Oof Sides. But Dan Campbell, man, end of the first half. Why are we sending the field goal team out there when the offense is trying to spike the ball? What are we doing?
Yeah, that was a mess.
That was very disappointing to see. Just poor game management and game plan. And if you look at the stat box and they didn't show you the box score, you'd be like, okay, cool, the Lions killed the Bucks. And then you look at the score and you're like, oh, what happened?
Yeah. He took full blame for it though.
He did. And that's that would be my road to pro moment, but I got a better one that came out today. So
yeah.
So speaking of, it's road to pro moments, I'll go first. So, that was the one, Dan Campbell being a man and taking responsibility like all people should do when they make mistakes. Always take responsibility for your mistakes because that makes you a good person. And you suffer with the consequences of your own ineptitude. I thought I'd get a chuckle out of that one. But it is officially orgy season at the University of Michigan.
Excuse me?
It's orgy season.
Would you like to elaborate?
Michigan has named Alex Orgy the starting quarterback for this week's game against USC. Davis Warren was trash. He had thrown 2 touchdowns in 3 games and 6 interceptions. You just can't do that. So it is orgy season.
Hell yeah.
Maybe there will be an orgy or 2 in the end zone this weekend.
We take those.
We take those. We take those. But it should be a good game in Ann Arbor once again.
Oh yeah.
this weekend. College football's back, baby. I was at the Texas game too. Not fun. Not fun. Well, it was.
Yeah, I
it
heard.
was fun, but not enjoyable. How about that?
The football part of it was not fun.
Right. I mean, it was
Yeah.
cool to see Texas, though. To be fair, like to be like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. That's the team that won the national championship last year, and like have all those memories, and be like, oh, that's the team that might win the national championship this year.
Yeah,
So, you know,
real passing of the torch.
yeah, that's what happened. Not having the torch violently ripped away from you.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, what was your road to pro moment this week, Matt?
My road to pro moment is Makita Truck Series alumni Carson Hocevar accidentally ran the boot in practice or in qualifying,
Wait,
which
what?
was hilarious. Have you not seen that clip?
No.
He runs wide off the carousel and goes down the boot and then like stops in the middle of the track like, wait a second, I'm not supposed to be here.
I didn't see that.
Oh, I'll send it to you after this.
Okay.
And then he finished third. And double Spire top 5 with Zane Smith 5th and Corey LaJoy finished 8th. So
Or
not
triple
only
10.
is it his second non-super speedway top 10 in like 3 weeks, but also all 3 Spire cars in the top 10. So big shout out to those guys. But
Welcome to
Carson had a
Red Racing.
great, yeah. Carson had a great tweet, which was just a Google search of him typing in "help" I accidentally, and then autofills ran the boot yesterday and finished third today. So big shout out there.
Yeah, that Spire 77 team, like, you know, the Alex Bowman rumors suck for Bowman, but you can kind of see where they're coming from with how good Hocevar's been running, right?
Yeah.
So you see where they're coming from, but they're not fair to Alex because
Yeah,
he's won
we
a
didn't
race.
even talk about it because the source for it is, just a very trustworthy person who's never spread any sort of misinformation.
Oh, who
before,
was it?
So, it was a certain spotter. So
Oh,
on a podcast, it's had some things to say about the residents of Haiti recently. So
I didn't see
Yeah.
those. That's kind of
that idiot. So,
wow. That was crazy. By the way, I was at the I was in San Diego last week for work, and right across for a convention, and right across from the convention center, I guess is the bar where they shot the piano scene in Top Gun.
yeah.
So we went there for drinks after the convention the first day, and that was on the TV, and the bartender like turned it down or whatever, and it's like, dude, I'm watching that. Like, come on.
Honestly, saved you the brain damage from it. So
Probably, but I still got the memes, so it's all good.
yeah.
Be nice to your
Yeah, we'll
neighbors,
just-
folks.
We'll just say that the person trying to say that Alex Bowman is on the hot seat is also the person who thinks that the citizens of Haiti eat dogs. So, yeah. Hopefully he doesn't have a job very soon.
Oof.
So.
Wow.
And that's the furthest I'll go into politics on this show.
Folks, can't thank you enough for listening to the Fake Racers podcast this week. Make sure if you haven't already, you drop a like and subscribe to us here on youtube.com/track and turf. Matt, you got Oofsides coming this week after a jam-packed week 2. Monday Night Football just kicked off, so we'll let you get going for that. But what should viewers look out for this week on Oofsides?
A lot of good discussion, obviously. I did say last week that if the Vikings beat the 49ers, that I would record a Sam Darnold theme song. And, well, sure enough, that happened, and I've not finished writing it yet. So I've got some work to do. Yeah. But yeah, Oofsides will be up, well, by the time you hear this tomorrow. And it'll be good.
It'll
So
be
I'm
good.
excited.
Be good. So enjoy Oofsides. Week 1 recaps out. If you missed week 1 of the NFL before you want to get the recap of week 2, because you probably already missed week 2 if you missed it. Or maybe you have your DVR set and you'll watch the games over. Just don't watch the Lions and Bucks game because that's a sad one.
Yeah.
Unless you're a Bucks fan.
I enjoyed it. Yeah. I was
Yeah.
gonna say,
Or a Baker fan.
yeah.
Yeah.
I still have to buy my Baker jersey that I said I was going to buy last year.
Yeah. Are you gonna get a Rams one? Or are you
No,
gonna
I
get a
already
Bucks
have the
one?
Rams one.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Okay, so yeah, we got to go on a tangent now. I did say that if they won, I would buy the Baker Mayfield Rams jersey on that game against the Raiders, and then they did, and so I bought it. And then last year, trying to use that same karmic force to will them into the playoffs. I said if the Bucks make the playoffs, I'll buy a Baker Mayfield Bucks jersey, and they did, and I still haven't done it yet, so I got to get on that.
We'll get you hooked up. We'll get you hooked up.
Yeah.
So, all right, folks. With all that being said, can't thank you enough for watching, for listening. Follow, subscribe, like, do all those things. I'll see you guys next week on the Fake Racers Podcast.
Goodbye.